Hello, welcome to Whistlepig Homestead. Come with us on a tour of our garden today. We are in early May. We are in hardiness zone 7B here in eastern Tennessee. Some things are in rough shape and some things are a little more established. Starting in this first bed, this is a future herb bed that currently has only weeds and an overwintered kale plant that bolted. The plan for this bed is mostly herbs, basil, thyme, oregano, cilantro, dill, but also calendula, chamomile, maybe a potted mint, or other plants we can use in the kitchen or in teas or salves. This next bed has our nightshades, tomatoes and peppers. There's also a rogue kale in there and 2 toothache plants we were given. The tomatoes we have are sun gold cherry, Amish paste, pink brandywine, black brandywine, black beauty, purple cherokee, and black crim. We really don't need that many tomatoes, but we're going to be making some salsa this year for sure. Peppers we have are all California Wonder. It's a red bell pepper heirloom variety. This year, we chose to try a Florida weave trellis system for the tomatoes. These T-posts are anchors for the twine that will hold up the vines as they grow. As they get taller, we will weave the twine forward and backward between tomatoes and then wrap around the posts and come back the other way like a weaving. And this will help give support on either side of the plant, and we're going to see how that goes. Last year, we ended up with a lot of sprawling tomatoes. This next bed is reserved for kid play. We have a sandbox and various digging and outdoor play tools. We also saved and relocated a volunteer maple tree to this area to hopefully have a little shade someday in the future summers. And this is supposed to keep the kids out of the other beds. This bed is strawberries and garlic. This is new for us. We have 3 strawberry varieties in here: Fronteras, Camarosa, and Ruby June. All 3 are short day varieties, so they'll produce most of their fruit at one time. As you can see, we've gotten some strawberries already, and very few of them make it up into the house. We thought we could make jam or roasted strawberries or maybe even freeze some, but apparently not yet. We also have so many different kinds of garlic in here. It is one big experiment right now to see what kinds grow well in our soil and in our climate and what kinds we like. We have hardneck, softneck, and shallots, and these will be ready to come out around June or July. Over here we have our bigger beds and our new trellis. This will give you a better look at our drip irrigation system we put in this year. We run a main line against one edge of the garden beds, and then we spooled out drip tape into rows where we would be planting. After connecting to the main line, water will run through the drip tape where there are holes about every 8 inches. This allows us to hook our hose up to the header, which is a filter and a pressure regulator, and then leave the hose running for an hour or 2 depending on how much water the plants need. And this means I don't have to stand out here for that amount of time or more walking among rows. I am very excited to see how it works out. On this side are mostly onions. We have 2 rows of short day onions, 1 row of Texas Legend onions, and 2 rows of intermediate day onions. We accidentally mixed up the varieties when planting, so other than the red ones, we're not sure what short day varieties are which or what intermediate day varieties are which. But at least we know their day length, and so far the Texas Legends are doing really well. A couple of the onions are growing flowers, which will make the bulb stop growing and it can get tough. So we can either pull those right now or let them flower and go to seed. We're not sure yet what we'll do, but we might be trying to harvest that seed later on. On the side here we have some cucurbits. Here's a watermelon. This is a crimson sweet, and a zucchini. We planted some pumpkin seeds, squash seeds, and watermelon seeds in the other hills. And as their vines grow longer, the onions will be ready to harvest, and the cucurbit vines can take up that space. The watermelon we're excited to try this year has a yellow flesh called Clay County watermelon. On the trellis, we are going to have so many plants, maybe too many plants. At our house for Christmas, Santa is in charge of stockings, and he likes to bring us seeds. So one of our kiddos got birdhouse gourd seeds, and we have those planted to grow up the trellis. We also have butternut squash, Armenian cucumbers, loofahs, small pumpkins, and a couple indeterminate tomatoes to experiment with. We have no shade in our backyard, so we're hoping this trellis can act as a small tunnel of shade for our kids to find some refuge from the heat during the summer. On the other side, here's one of our butternut transplants. And these mounds over here will be more pumpkins in this patch, as well as moringa squash. Since filming, we have planted beans in this spot, yellow Cherokee wax beans. We saved seed from our harvest last year. They're an heirloom. It was the only bean we had planted, so we felt confident we could plant these and get the same thing again. Further up, we will have a patch of sunflowers and a big patch of sweet corn and popcorn. And here at the end, we have sweet potatoes. We planted sweet potatoes last year, about 25 Beauregard plants, and we harvested about 75 pounds of those sweet potatoes. This year we have 3 kinds of sweet potatoes. The first variety is white yam. Over here we have Centennial, and these are Puerto Ricos, which are a non-vining variety. The Puerto Ricos were a little sad when we put them in. We've lost a few of them and some others, but we might just put some extra slips in between where there's an empty spot. Well, there you have it. That is what our garden is up to in May. Back there is our mini orchard, our chickens, a little meadow, and I will gladly give y'all a tour of that another time. Thank you for watching. Please leave any questions or advice below, and welcome to Whistle Pig Homestead.